The Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the team that doesn't learn anything. Good morning, afternoon, and evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. The Bombers lose 31-17 in Toronto because we can never win games in Toronto. Apparently, it's even when the Argonauts are not doing very well, they still find a way to get it done. Yeah, not good. Not good. This was, again, I'm looking for that bounce back game from Winnipeg, and I got shut out 2 quarters. Like, it's just, you can't expect, again, this is the second straight game of playing half a week of football and expecting to be able to get a win with that. Now, Collaros, after halftime, comes out, and it's clear that that hit from before, I was shocked that he was going to be ready for this game. And it's clear that he probably wasn't, and that he was going in and kind of realized maybe afterwards he's still really not 100%. So they try to roll with Streveler, and they just can't get it done. But it's one of those things where it's not just like our offense, it's the defense too. Zach Collaros goes 50%, 5 for 10, 79 passing yards, 2 interceptions. It's not good, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not too upset about the picks they threw him. Like, I'm sorry, but the second you get both hands on the ball, you got to have that. I don't care how hard you're getting hit. When you get that, you got to tuck it in and get down. Like, I'm not going to lie. I'm not pleased with that one that Stearns let out, that second interception. I didn't like it. I didn't like how we would, on punt return, touch it and not get it and lose possession there. Not good. Like, these little things just killing us. Dembski was trying to get it going a little bit, but only, like, seriously, like, if we're looking at the receiving yards here, I'm actually going to check if the stats I'm seeing on the score are accurate, because if they are, holy shit, I am concerned, because those stats are bad. As it says, Dembski only has 1 reception and 4 for Stearns, and that's it. Like, is that real? Like, hold on a second. Team stats here. Oh my God, we sucked that much. Seriously, our leading receiver was Stearns with 4 receptions. 4. Nobody else had that many receptions. Dembski had a big one for 46, but that's the only one he made. 13. Like, if we're looking at carries, Oliveira plays decent. 6.3 yards, 82 yards rushing. But again, when you're behind in a game, if you can't run the ball, you're just killing yourself with the clock. Nick Arbuckle plays well. Seems like he knows how to play against us. It's funny, Janarian Grant technically is 1 for 1 on passes because of the play that they did where they did like a lateral or whatever the hell. But man, Coxie, 145 receiving yards, 6 receptions, 1 touchdown for him, 1 for Daniels. James Vaughters would get a defensive touchdown, so it was nice to see that. But I mean, besides that, like, I need to see more. I need to see more. We went into halftime down 25-10. Now, I would like a little more from our offense there, but 10 points at halftime is not the worst I've seen. It's possible to win a game on that. When you're down, when you've given up 25 points in half a game of goddamn football, that's bad. Like, our second half, we only gave up 6 points. That's not nearly as bad. But it's because Toronto was ahead, so they could just burn clock. And so it was one of those things where Toronto played against Winnipeg, Winnipeg's style of football. Winnipeg's style of football is get a lead, run that clock. Run it out. It's the same thing. I've said this numerous times, but it only works if you get an early lead, and they didn't. And so, yeah, Collaros, when he came out in the second half, he was in street clothes. It wasn't just performance-based and when Streveler went in, because if it was just that, Collaros would still be dressed in case Streveler gets injured. But no, he was in street clothes, so it's very clear there that Collaros was not 100%. He was not in perfect shape, probably going into this game. And I guess he just felt a little rattled. Not just mentally, I'm talking physically. But it's just, I need to see I need to see better as, like, I'm a little concerned here because we had, I see Vavel did some returning today. But then Cody Case would get carted off. And so I'm a little concerned about injuries here. I'm not going to lie. The offensive line really struggles with us, Stanley Bryant. As I think Randolph does fine at right tackle. But we have, let me see the depth chart. I know it was sent to me. I got to remember this. But the offensive line in its current form is struggling a little bit here. Because I think it's Vanterpool who's had to go out to left tackle. Vanterpool at left guard works. He's a good guard. He's not a great tackle. I'm not going to lie. I'm not impressed with him at the tackle position. To be fair, the tackle position is harder for the offensive line. Because it's just, you get a bit more, because that's the thing. You try to line up when you're playing offensive tackle, you're trying to line up slightly outside because you want to be able to really keep him out. Like, stopping them from getting contained is huge. So you want to keep him kind of in. But you got to be careful, because if you step too far, then they're going to beat you inside. And that was one of the ways that either Clarissa Streveler got sacked today, was Vanterpool was getting beat inside. And Wallace, again, he's a third string. Like, he's a guy he is your backup's backup. And so it's one of those things where Wallace needs a bit of work. And I'm not saying that he won't end up as a starting offensive lineman. Vanterpool and Randolph were kind of in that spot, but they've earned the spots on the offensive line. Randolph has done great at right tackle. There are great offensive linemen that are built well as a guard or built well as a tackle, and not vice versa. That's just the way it goes. It was frustrating seeing a bad snap be one of the reasons that we went to third down on one of those for Streveler. As someone who used to play center, I know that feeling you get when you screw up a snap, because everyone knows it's you. It's like the goalie in hockey. You can't, if the forward in hockey, it's like if the forwards make a mistake, the defense can bail them out. If the defense made a mistake, the goalie can bail them out. If you're the goalie and you make a mistake, it is bloody well obvious to just about everyone watching. Same thing as the offensive line, or the quarterback, I guess you could say, in either way regarding the snap or any potential throw or anything. But yeah, just today was one of those things where it just was not good enough. So it's funny, I was working during this game, but I actually was able to kind of check in on it and see some plays here and there. I kind of had it like in my pocket, CFL Plus, and occasionally would just kind of watch a play or two. But it was one of those things where, again, got shut out in the second and the fourth quarter. If the Bombers put up any resemblance of points in those quarters, we see a much tighter game. Because that's the thing. It's not just frustrating that we lost. It's frustrating that we lost by 2 touchdowns. If we're going to lose, I want to lose by like 1 score. I want us to feel like we're in it. And this confirms a few although I will say this confirms something, because the Stampeders lost to the Alouettes. Now, I know that Vernon Adams Jr. gets injured. Fair enough. And Walker has to play, and I think he has like 7 attempts, and he goes like 3 for 7. It's not good. But it wasn't just that the Stampeders were hot. It is that this Blue Bombers team is ice effing cold right now. Ice cold. Seriously. And my problem is that it just feels like there's no learning, in the sense of we're losing week to week, and it's like, okay, what did we screw up last week? Like, I'm not going to lie. This Blue Bomber team, they got to get in the film room and start ironing out these mistakes, because it's not good. And it's just kind of frustrating to watch. I want to be able to win a game in Toronto at some point. You know what I mean? Losing at home was bad. For Winnipeg, the expectation is that you're winning almost every game at home. I'm not going to lie. I know it's a high expectation. I know it's borderline unreasonable. But I've seen them do it. I have. And I do believe in this team. I think come August 1st, for week 9, they can get it done. And I want them to. I'm rooting for this team. It's just a little frustrating seeing them go on a bit of a skid. I'm not on the camp of the season is over, and this is, what are we ever going to do? This is an absolute disaster. We're never going to win anything. There's no way we could get to a Grey Cup final or anything, this or that. We've played 6 games. We play 18. And we're in a playoff spot right now. We're third. I understand it's not as great. We'd like to be ahead of either Calgary or Saskatchewan, and we could use them losing a game or two here or there, but it is what it is. And hell, with the current situation in the East, there's a very good chance that a team from the West could cross over. But we're in a good spot. The team right now that's kind of on our doorstep is the BC Lions. We hold the tiebreaker with them already, so that's good. Just if you're Winnipeg, you make the adjustments you need and actually adjust. Get in the film room. It's the advantage of playing the same team next week is that you can learn from your mistakes. I'd like to see it. Maybe we can make something happen. So at the end of the day, it's a bit frustrating to see the Bombers just lose essentially the same game 3 times as those games. Like they're pretty identical, all 3 of them. All 3 of them are pretty ugly. I guess the only difference is today when we threw interceptions, we didn't throw pick sixes. So I guess call that improvement if you want. But Sergio Castillo was fine. Never really that many concerns with him. Thought I was impressed with our pass rush here and there, being able to get some sacks. 2 for Tony Jones, 1 for Vaughters, which of course he gets a touchdown. Would get a touchdown as well from a fumble recovery. And Devin Adams would have a really nice one. Just kind of want to see that secondary tighten up a bit, you know. Again, the pass rush better today. Secondary needs to tighten up though. I think that's kind of your bread and butter of Jordan Younger's defensive systems is when his coverage is working, when guys are really covering their zones, they don't let up anything. Just need the guys in the field to get it done. The systems work. They do. They totally work. It's just we need to make sure that just us losing Terrell Ford makes the other 3 guys forget how to play football. We can't have that. We need everyone to be on board, to be understanding how to do it, and get it done because we know it works. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below about this game. I didn't think it was very great. I thought it was pretty ugly, but it's one of those things. Again, we play them again next week at home. So hopefully we can get it done then. So peace, love, and positivity, all you wonderful people at home. Make sure you guys leave a like, share it around, and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, subscribe to Canadian Football Central, where right up here, right there, where me and Rick do our coverage of the CFL league-wide coverage, that is. And those are on YouTube as well as Spotify. So make sure you guys check that out. And we will see you guys next time.